Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Afghan Cooks. I'm Miriam, I'm the Afghan who cooks and also makes ice cream. Today, I have my niece over and I made her some mint chocolate chip ice cream. No food coloring, no bright green, just fresh mint, chocolate chips, cream and sugar. The way God intended ice cream to be. Let's make it. Before you begin your shiriach, your ice cream, make sure that if you need to, the bowl for your ice cream maker or whatever it is in the freezer, because a lot of times when I want to make ice cream, I forget about that and then there's a problem. I have in here 1 cup of whole milk and 1 cup of heavy cream. In here I have 1 cup of whole milk and 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, and then I stirred it. I'm going to stir it again in a little while so that all of the lumps are gone. This is a cornstarch ice cream. No custard, no egg yolks. I have here a handful of mint. The more you have, the better. Mint, once you plant it, it grows like crazy. We didn't plant any this year or last year, so we have to plant it this year. So I only have this 1 small handful, but that's okay because we're going to let it steep for a while. And I have here just about 1 cup of sugar. Those are all of the ingredients. And then I have some chocolate chips to add at the end. Turn on our heat and add our milk and cream mixture. And as soon as this just comes to a very small simmer, we're going to add our sugar. And you want to see little bubbles start to come around on the edges. Okay, now you can see it's starting to bubble up around the sides. We want to add our sugar. Stir it till the sugar is dissolved. The great thing about making your own ice cream is you control how sweet you want it. The traditional recipe calls for 1 cup of sugar, so that's why I added it. Normally, I will add about 3/4 of a cup, so it's a little bit less sweet because when you add the chocolate chips, it gives it a nice sweet balance with the mint and the chocolate. You want to make sure that all of the sugar is dissolved. You just want to take your mint and throw it in there. It's that simple. Again, you can see the little bubbles around the side. You want to keep it there. You don't want it to get any warmer than that at this stage. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to turn off the heat. I'm going to grab the top to this and I'm going to put it on, and you can let it steep anywhere from 1 hour to 2 hours. The longer the better. And when we come back, we're going to finish it up. Okay, so this has actually been steeping for almost 2 hours. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these out. You can see the color on this has changed a little bit. It's a little more green. You can see that there's a layer of nice mint oil. The nana horde, if you've ever heard of such a thing, right? I'm going to turn this back on. Here I have the cornstarch slurry. Remember, it's 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, 1 cup of milk. Make sure you stir it if it's been sitting so that you have no lumps. What I forgot to do before is add a little salt. Here I have 1/4 teaspoon. I'm just going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt to this just to kind of remember. You don't want anything without namak. Everything has to have namak. Okay, we're going to heat this up. It's starting to get little bubbles around the edges. We're going to add our cornstarch slurry. And we're going to stir this and cook it. You want to keep stirring this so it doesn't burn, okay? You don't want it to stick to the bottom or burn. You can see that that's thickened right up. See that? Easier and faster than making a custard. Now I turn this all the way down. You can see how thick that is. That's what you're looking for. Right there. That's so beautifully thick. It's basically pudding. Here is my bowl. It's cold. I'm going to add this into my bowl and then I'm going to put it back in the fridge or the freezer so that this whole thing can cool down. Now, my ice cream maker has an internal compressor, and I have a link to it. You'll see it in just a moment. But you still don't want to add your very warm mixture to the compressor because your ice cream will turn icy. Okay? You need to let it cool down completely before you turn it ice cold. Because you see all this steam? See all of that? That's going to turn to ice. And you don't want that. You got beautiful mint from your garden. It's okay. Spend a little more time and let it completely cool. I'm going to add this to this bowl and I'm going to put it in the fridge, preferably overnight, okay? And then we'll come back and churn some ice cream. And you can see I put this in, it was overnight and it's very thick. It's like firine now, okay? It's mint firine, it's very thick. All right, and then we're going to take this whole thing and put it directly in here. Any kind of ice cream maker you have, just follow the directions for the ice cream maker. This one is kind of fancy. Uh-oh. I'm going to cover this and I'm just going to hit start. And we're going to let it go until it's ready. When it gets close to being done, when it's still a little soft, we're going to add our chocolate chips. You can put this in the freezer and let it firm up, or if you like it soft serve like I do, you can just scoop it up. A couple more chocolate chips. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. You're here, you might as well subscribe. Hit the bell notification so that you'll know every time we have a video. And also leave a comment. I'm going to give this ice cream to my baby niece. Because I think that's really the only thing she eats right now. Until next time, peace.